we're working. We're in the lab.
Hey, it's better when
we'll make
Steve
sure
made
this
me
happens
talk
as
to
soon as
that
possible.
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
We are back. That is right. We had a week off, but we are back. We had a terrible week of picks. It was the best week we could possibly not be on air for you guys. I'm your host, Ernest Silva. Into the Lab podcast is where you're at, where you're watching, or where you may be listening on the road or on the couch. We have the wonderful Ray Rogers visiting us from a resort. We'll get more from him as he heads to breakfast. But before we go to that, let's go ahead and call out our powered by sponsor. That's right, Blue Collar Media Group. Big shout out to Blue Collar Media Group. And we are in week 11 for our analysis of ITL's Way Too Early NFL Pick'em. And let's start off first and foremost with my co-host, Kenny Cotterill. What's up, buddy?
Glad we took the week off. Not a good picks week. I kind of shudder at what we would have had as the ITL parlay for last week. So probably for the best that we took the week off, but we're back. We're motivated. We're ready to go for week 11 of the NFL season, and let's have a great show.
Really, really fun thing to say is that if you would have actually taken the BCMG guarantee last week and did every pick opposite, you would have won big money. Big money. Let's go to our other man in action. That's right. Definitely at home chilling. Just Luke, what's up, buddy?
Hey, it's Victory Tuesday, guys. I feel like I haven't said that in so long, but I don't want the Steelers to win, so I don't know what's going on. But I digress. I'm here. Can't wait to talk picks. It was weird not doing this last week, so we got a lot to catch up on.
We absolutely do, and I love the new view from your living room, Luke. Excited to have you back on the show for this week. All right, so he looks frozen. Nope, he's moving. Dre is at a resort. We don't know the full story yet, but Dre, how's it going wherever you may be?
I think we lost.
I think we lost Dre on the way to breakfast. We'll come back to you, Dre, whenever you have a chance.
Wow.
It's the three of us tonight. Dre wanted to say hi to everybody, but I don't think he made it. Absolutely Better Together is our slogan for this year. And if you haven't heard, we have tons of options to check out some of our content creators. The show like Into the Lab podcast, Competitive Hedge, two of one of the great shows of BCMG, as well as a lot of our streamers that we'll definitely highlight later on today. I'm sure you're wondering what the hell happened last week as much as we are. Before we go to round one, we definitely want to go with our regular Better Together update right here on ITL. Let's roll it.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday.
I'm your host, Andrew Kahn. This is the Boomtown Pod.
At Into the Lab Pod is where you're watching today's stream.
Stuck him!
It is Blue Collar Game Day. I am your host.
Oh my God, I got a kill! Yes!
Welcome to episode 277 of the Official Butthole Podcast. Got him.
Beautiful.
Better together.
Better together.
We're better together.
Better together.
Better together.
That's right. We are better together. You can join BCMG today. Just send a DM over to one of the three of us if you follow us on Twitter or any social platform. We can definitely talk to you about joining the family here at BCMG. All right. So round one is upon us. Let's go over NFL news and notes. Starting off with the craziness that happened this week. Not so crazy to us, but for most, it's like the subject of conversation because why wouldn't America's team be it? That's right. Aaron Rodgers beats the Dallas Cowboys in overtime. Cowboys suffered their first loss in franchise history, went up by 14 points in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott looked terrible against basically a nonchalant defensive back who picked him off twice. I'm not surprised. It wasn't a huge deal to me, but everybody's blowing it up. So let's start this one off with Kenny Cotter. Kenny, how do you feel about the Cowboys after that collapse in Green Bay?
I mean, like we've seen this song and dance for years. Happy for Christian Watson. I mean, it's good to see the rookie with the 3 touchdowns. And I mean, my wife's a Packers fan, so like I can't really say too many negative things about the Packers ever. But I mean, hey, good win for them. It keeps their season alive. As far as Dallas goes, probably still not worried about them missing the playoffs or anything unless injuries happen. So I think they're going to be fine. They've got a chance this week to get it back. I think if they go and beat Minnesota, then you look at it as, okay, well, we kind of expected them to be 1-1 over that stretch anyways. So I don't think that it would be a major loss if they lose. It would be a major loss if they lost this week, but 6-4 would be a tougher spot for them. And then I would maybe revisit this, but as of now, I think everything's fine. I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah, and guys, I thought they'd win this week just because Rodgers is on a downward spiral, but Aaron Rodgers does this to the Cowboys. Like something fuels him that just is like, I hate that team. He's now 8-2 against the Cowboys all time. It's what he does. Now I think the big concern is if they go to Minnesota this week and either it's not a fight at all or they lose that game, I think they need to come out with a win and go into that Giants game for Thanksgiving with coming out of that 8-3. I think the Cowboys will be in really good shape. But here we go to Minnesota, and I put on here that's probably going to be game of the week just because it's going to be Kirk Cousins in primetime. Can he get over that curse? And it's going to be Dallas trying to show they're actually that good in the game of the week, America's game of the week. I'm very intrigued by this game. Luke, as not a Cowboys or Vikings stan, how do you feel about Vikings-Cowboys being the game of the week this week?
For the NFC, yeah, it makes sense for it to be game of the week. I mean, obviously the comeback kids, the cardiac kids, whatever you want to call the Minnesota Vikings, obviously they remind me of the Steelers team that went undefeated for a while and also lost to Washington. So it's a lot of similarities, a lot of comeback wins, a lot of tight window wins. I think that says a lot about this Coach O'Connell for sure, because in years past with Mike Zimmer, they lose those games. And I still feel that way if you put Mike Zimmer back on this team, that they lose probably 60% of the games that they've already won. So it's pretty good for them. I don't know how much of a measuring stick it is in the NFC. Dallas versus them, obviously with Tom obviously turning it around now. Are they going to be a measuring stick to look against? Don't know. Divisional wise, you're still looking up at the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they took an L in the division. So this is a game they just can't drop. I mean, neither one of these. I mean, Minnesota can afford to drop one, but Dallas cannot afford to drop 2 in a row.
Yeah, I think from a psyche perspective, right, Minnesota doesn't want to lose again to the Cowboys. Like, that's like, you can't make it 3 years in a row. And I think just from a psyche perspective, you have to see you can get a win. Kenny, are you feeling like this is absolutely game of the week this week?
I think it's game of the week. Chiefs-Chargers is close, but I think it would be a much better game if we actually had this Chargers offense at full strength, but who knows if we'll get Keenan Allen, probably no Mike Williams, so I think that kind of takes away from it. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm kind of hoping that Dallas stinks for a little bit because I would way rather that they're the 7 seed in the NFC than the 5 or the 6. Because that's where...
What?
Well, seriously, think about it, because would you rather go up against a Minnesota team in the first round, knowing that Kirk, he hasn't been stellar over his career when the lights are the brightest, or do you want to be taking on who I think is going to win the NFC West in San Francisco? Now that they have CMC, they look like a completely different animal. We know how that went last year for Dallas.
I'd rather the 5 seed.
Okay, but then you have to pass the Giants, and if you're the 5 seed, then you have to go beat Tom in Tampa. And look, I know that Tom hasn't looked the best, but they're coming on. They're starting to look better. And I don't want to go and face the greatest player of all time in a playoff game in his house and think that I'm going to come away with a win. If I have a choice between playing the team that beat us last year, the team with Tom, or Kirk Cousins, I'm going to pick the Vikings. And
I guess I can see that.
And that might be a measuring stick for this week. If they go in and beat Minnesota, then probably ruins my plan of them hopefully being the 7. But, I think we're getting to the point where we know that Philly and Minnesota, just with all the wins that they've already racked up, they're probably going to be 1-2 in the NFC. So the trend is showing that Dallas is likely going to end up with one of these San Francisco or Tampa teams on the road in a playoff game, and I just don't like it.
No, that's good analysis. I just don't think Tampa's nearly as good as the other two. So I'd rather take the easiest team out of those. But if you put Tom Brady's name in it, I'll take it at face value. We'll have to see how Tampa Bay looks in the next few weeks.
I mean,
I'm trying not to
agree with
overreact
Kenny,
to
though.
that.
It's just it's the one game. I give Tom Brady a chance in one game. I will always give him the chance in one playoff game.
And especially since what we saw last year when Dallas got to the playoffs. And the thing that I'm worried about with Tampa is that they actually got the run game going. Because that's been their biggest thing. Tom's throwing it 50 times, and they're losing games that they probably shouldn't. And then the last couple weeks, they mix White into that backfield, and he runs for 100 yards last week, and they beat the Seahawks. Yeah. So if they start to come on with a more well-rounded offense, that's where I start to get a bit worried with them. Although I would agree that out of the 3 teams, they probably have the worst roster top to bottom between them, Minnesota, and San Fran.
Yeah, Londo finally got here, so we got our in-studio producer finally, and
Fantastic.
He's going to get settled. Yeah, welcome, Londo. I absolutely agree with you, though, and since we're talking a little bit about the NFC, I might as well bring it up. Vikings-Bills was probably the game of the year, in what was probably one of the craziest comebacks and defensive fumble in the end zone stories that you can ever imagine. I'm going to call him now. I know he's going in and out, but I definitely want to see Dre in that buffet. So real quick, as we're going to sidebar, Dre, what's going on, man?
What's up? I was grabbing food from the buffet.
I'm glad to have you on, buddy. So you said you're at a resort. Where's the resort at?
I don't know what it's called. Oh, Encore something. I saw Mr. Packers in the headlines. Did you see the biggest news of the entire NFL season? We picked up a wide receiver that people know about today. We got D.D. Westbrook.
Finally got a receiver, a household name that you guys can talk about. Are you still in Bali?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here.
All right, I just had to check. I mean, if you're gonna have us there with you, Dre, let us at least see the grub. Is it good food?
It's all right. It's decent. I mean, it's not your traditional breakfast style buffet, I guess. They've got lasagna and chicken, and it's not that attractive type of buffet. Maybe it's like a lunch thing. So free pizza. No, I did not. But I ordered fettuccine carbonara.
All right, Dre. Well, that sounds delicious, man. I'm gonna put you on mute for a minute. That music's pretty loud, but man, I hope you enjoy that brunch, and thanks for hopping on. All right, so we are gonna go to our next headline, which was Vikings versus Bills. I consider a game of the year, catch of the year, in my opinion, and What a crazy way to see the game going to overtime. Kenny, I mean, you're writing this game and you're looking at it from a betting perspective. You're probably pissed. You probably took Bills everywhere. But to you, I mean, we both took Bills. But how do you feel about this game?
First of all, I had Bills and pick 'em, but I definitely didn't bet that spread because we had no idea what Josh Allen was going to look like in that game. And he made a couple of really bad mistakes in that game and he's one of the leaders in interceptions this year. It's kind of like how Mahomes was last year, where we all got like a little bit worried about Mahomes, and then this year he's an MVP favorite again. So maybe we're just a bit early on the Josh Allen train. But to me, that Justin Jefferson catch is top 3 all time. I don't know how you dispute that given the severity of the play, the fact that he goes up with one hand and takes it away from a DB with 2 hands, somehow figures out a way not to drop it and has the catch all the way through. Like, to me, that's a top 3 catch all time. I was absolutely stunned at the fact that he caught it. I was upset because I had Jefferson 2 touchdowns and he came up a yard short on the other one, but it's a big win for Minnesota. I think we've all been waiting for them to finally get that statement win. They barely beat the Bears, barely beat the Lions. They have some okay wins along the way, but this is the win where it's like, okay, maybe this is a different Minnesota team. Kirk we know about his primetime stuff, but Luke alluded to it earlier. Under Zimmer, few of these games they probably lose under Zimmer. And I think O'Connell coming in, being more offensive focused, they're just getting the ball in their best players' hands and they're seeing success. And, you know, Kirk is iced out, maybe not as much as Taylor Heineke was last night, but, you know, he's playing really well this year. And we're seeing the fruits of that labor with Minnesota sitting on only 1 loss right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the wide receivers in Los Angeles, but you can definitely see the difference what the coach does. As you can see, his Chargers struggling and the Vikings playing so well. So it's been wonderful to see Minnesota come back. Now, they did look like the Minnesota frauds early in that game. It looked like, okay, yeah, Minnesota isn't that good, and the Bills are going to keep them at bay. But that late surge kept them going, and just ungodly luck on that defensive touchdown. Now, Luke, I'm going to ask you, I know you got to watch this game too, and it was impressive. Does it say more about the Bills choking the lead or more about the Vikings having the gut to win this game?
I'm going to say it's like 60-40 with the Bills right now. Just because I've seen this with the Bills. Like, they just can't get it done in tight games. If you can get them too tight, and I'm talking within 5 points, a tight football game, you have a chance to win. And I don't know if that comes down to no Brian Daboll. I don't know if that changes the perspective on him, if it's more of the head coach having more say in the matter. But the fact is, look at Buffalo in 1-score games. I guarantee you they don't have a 500 record in 1-score games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tough, especially in the NFL. That's where you need to win games. If you're going to be a Super Bowl contender, you need to win those 3 or 5 point less games. You just have to. But I was of the mind that I didn't really care about this game as much for the Bills, especially with this whole UCL injury with Josh Allen. It was an out-of-division game, out of the AFC game. If they really drop it, does it really hurt them to let him sit a week? But his turnovers are starting to become a huge issue with them. And I don't know what's going to fix it. I don't know if it's his arm that's causing it or if it's the lack of run game or the fact that he has to be involved 100% of the time with Buffalo's offense. Because if he is not touching the ball at some point during the play is not going anywhere. And I feel like he's pressing at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely the James Harden of Buffalo, but I will say that no, too much. Kenny likes that one. I will say that Buffalo lives and dies with it, right? Like, they're gonna put the ball in his hands no matter what. That's just their offense, and they've always been able to overcome turnovers with Josh Allen because of his playmaking ability. But maybe that deep throw, I didn't see him really chuck the ball to Stephon Diggs as much, and that could be because of injury, which may be a huge reason why it was prohibiting in this game. But I mean, anybody in fantasy football can tell you that Devin Singletary 2-touchdown start was
just such a useless 2 touchdowns too, because there's no yards attached to it. It's just
43
you ran
yards
it
and 2
twice.
touchdowns. Yeah, 43 yards, 15
You would
carries.
think he was a fullback.
But
Yeah.
you're also
You think he was a fullback.
You're kind of worried with Buffalo as well, just because the way that they were play calling, like Allen almost got hurt again in that game. He took another shot, and I get it. Like there were a couple plays that he made because he fought for those extra yards, but man, like you throw the interception and then you go for the tackle and almost hurt yourself. Like sometimes I don't need my quarterback going to make that tackle. If they run it back for 6, that's fine, but you're trying to make a tackle on a guy coming at you full speed, and you're supposed to be my quarterback that was hurt all week long that we didn't think was going to play. I don't like that they're risking it with Allen. I agree with Luke. Like, why is he even out there? Give him the week off. Say, you know what? We need you ready for playoffs. If we lose this game, what does that say? Oh no, we're 6-3. We're probably still not overly concerned about winning our division. We're still at worst 1 game back in the conference. Just take the L, and who knows, maybe you don't even take the L because you have an okay backup there. Maybe he does just enough to win the game. We see now that it probably wouldn't have been, but I don't know. I don't like that he's out there in what I would consider a nothing game for them.
Yeah.
Also, it's starting to become Andrew Luck territory, and that might seem far, but it really can turn that quick. Andrew Luck didn't have a great offensive line, didn't have a great running game, had a couple pieces at wide receiver. Granted, they were a little older in Reggie and I forget the tight end that was there they went to Stanford with, but he ended up retiring early. Like, the signs are there for Buffalo, and if I'm Sean McDermott, you have to wake up. Like, this is a legitimate concern with no running game and pretty much his throwing arm being unavailable.
So
it's
I'll
very,
ask
very
you this.
close.
Luke, I'll ask you this. So given the fact that this week they're at home, they're taking on Cleveland. If you get to Friday and Josh is still not feeling it, maybe feels like maybe he just needs the week off, do you not still have faith that with that defense, a decent backup, and all the weapons that they have, that they can't go at home and beat Cleveland this week? Give him that week off, get him back to 100%, and then they get ready, because once you start getting into December, where you play 3 straight division games, including at Foxborough, does that not make sense to just say, like, Josh, like, you've been taking a lot of shots lately, let's get you 100%?
That's
I don't think that they will, but wouldn't it make sense to?
Well, that's why he needed rest last week.
Yeah.
I can trust Case Keenum for 1 game. He does not have to be 2 wins, 2 losses Case Keenum. I would have taken a chance with Case Keenum against Minnesota
Revenge game.
last week against them.
Revenge game.
Rather than try.
The Keenum crazies would be out.
It's just, it didn't make sense to me why he played last week, or at least be on a pitch count. And I know that sounds bad. You can't do that in the NFL. But when you're talking about your franchise, the guy you risked everything for in the draft, and he might have to have Tommy John surgery as a quarterback, that's not a good sign. And it's not good historically. I don't care how far medicine has come. Tommy John surgery for a quarterback can absolutely be devastating.
I hope that Buffalo goes and they blow the doors off of Cleveland and Detroit the next 2 weeks in the first half, and they sit them for the second half.
Ask me that same question, Kenny, that you asked Luke.
But
okay. I'm terrified that the video is coming.
but Kenny, that's the thing. Like, they won't sit him.
I know.
It's
weird.
If I'm a defensive coordinator, like,
I'd throw blitzes at him all day long.
I'm throwing 11 and daring you to beat me. I don't care if I'm down 25 points and you're still in there. I'm sending 11 and you better figure it out. And that sounds terrible. That might be headhunting, whatever you want to call it. But your franchise quarterback is in the game in the fourth quarter up by 30, still running the ball. Nothing good can happen from that. Absolutely nothing good.
So, Ernest, would you start Josh Allen this week?
Give me a hell yeah.
Damn right I would.
You knew that I was waiting on that video too. Damn it.
My finger on the trigger the entire time.
Got that geared up.
Let's move on. Let's go to fantasy implications. If you're watching today's episode, you have questions for fantasy football, you can always ask those questions away on here. Let's do a fantasy reminder. Jaguars, Seahawks, Dolphins, oh my, and Bucks are on bye this week. Do not play any of them. It's like a Florida bye week.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then Seattle. But you're not gonna play any of those. Let's move on to another injury update. Cooper
Thank
Kupp.
God you didn't go to the ITL league. I lost my 50 this
No, I did not go there. You should see the matchup I had with Steve too. That's
I will tell you this much. I sat Christian Kirk for 31.
Wow.
points.
Wow.
There you
Who
go.
I started in his place?
Who?
CH for 0. He got a big fat goose egg.
That's bad. I think I beat Steve by 70. I don't know if he forgot to set his lineup. I just watched it ride and I didn't stare at it. But if you had Cooper Kupp, you might have been really upset with the 2.65 points he earned you, but you're even more upset as he was officially placed on IR. Allen Robinson lovers are now rejoicing if they kept him this long, but Cooper Kupp being placed on IR puts a big hole in a lot of people's teams who might have drafted him number 1 overall or in the first round. Guys, who benefits the most from this in the wide receiver core for Los Angeles? I'll start this one off with you, Luke.
Probably fucking Matt Skoranek. Like, who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, they have Allen Robinson out there, and he's just running curl routes. Thank God. I don't know, Ernest, but I'm telling you right now, I'm selling the Rams. I'm done. We're done. Pack it in for the year. Get people rested. Make a shot next year. Like, you're done. You're done. Especially with Cooper Kupp. Like, he's 96% of your offense. So, without him, and I mean, they said it was close to being, like, career-ending ankle. Like, not season-ending, but career-ending ankle. So, that's very concerning to me. And, I mean, honestly, we had the battle of David Blau and Colt McCoy. UT Pride, Colt McCoy this weekend.
Whoop, whoop.
You mean
Colt
Wofford,
McCoy, baby?
Thanks?
You mean winning Colt McCoy?
Yeah.
That's right. Hashtag
Colt
Like,
winning.
what are we doing? Like, he was probably bagging groceries.
I missed it. I missed it again.
Give me a hell yeah.
Just kidding.
Is that a good nickname for him? Colt McW? I don't think it is.
Colt McW. It sounds like something you get at McDonald's and you never do it again.
Can I get the Colt McW with a side of fries?
Because he was flipping burgers last week at McDonald's in Arizona.
Wow.
Hey, he's not flipping burgers. He's the night shift manager,
Stop
you
it.
jerk.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the ice cream machine is broken.
Yeah.
You guys
You're
need to
right.
stop. He won last week. You're ridiculing a winning quarterback. All right, we got a bit of a game before we move on to pick 'em. For those of you playing along, let's see if you can do it. Which wide receiver group can you name more of? Kansas City or Los Angeles Chargers? We start the game off with Kenny. Kenny, how many Kansas City Chief wide receivers can you name that are active for this week?
That are active. Is MVS active?
He's out.
Oh, no. Is Hardman active?
He's out.
Juju is clearly dead.
Out.
I don't know if I can name another.
You can do it, Kenny. I believe in you.
You can name one. I know you got one at the tip of your tongue. He just got traded to them.
Oh, yeah.
Tootie.
There you go. Kadarius Toney. That's one. Any other?
Juju, Tony, MVS, and Pringle.
Oh, Pringle's one.
Are you listening?
And then you got Kelsey, and then you got McKinnon kind of acts like a wide receiver.
So
there you go.
we're naming
Is
we're
Watson
naming active
considered
receivers.
a tight end? Benjamin Watson? Is that his name? Is he a tight
He's still
end?
football?
Let me see. He's not on my list, so I'm gonna see if he qualifies. Hold on.
Wait,
I feel like
they've got this rookie, Sky Moore. There you go.
Yep, there you go. There's another one. What about
the
Chargers wide receivers? Can we name the active Chargers wide
DeAndre
receivers?
Carter, Oliver, Josh
He's not
Oliver,
listening.
Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
Well, they're both out. They're both out this week.
Well, no, Keenan's questionable.
Oh, come on now.
Well, but DeAndre Carter, Josh Oliver, and
Josh Palmer.
DeAndre. Yeah, there you go. That's
3-3. Hey, that's not too bad, guys. That's not too bad. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, it's not stars playing in the Sunday Night Football game. There's definitely gonna be just the quarterbacks and their supporting cast. But I will say this:
does this mean that there's a chance that CEH gets a point this week?
there is a chance. There is a chance CEH gets 1 point this week, and
we're in shambles with Dre's audio.
We are, but I'm enjoying it looks really serene back there, so I'm gonna let that ride. I just want to do our last headline that's part of this is, will the Chargers wide receivers finally come back? The answer is no. I don't think they're coming back this week. So we'll just stop that.
So wait, you came up with a headline that you already knew the answer to.
Yeah, it's no. It's absolutely no.
Spoiler.
Yeah. No. Don't play your Chargers wide receivers this week. You're not going to get them. Let's move on to my true final headline, which is Foreman to the moon. If you finally got UT legend Deontay Foreman on your team, then you definitely want to keep that going. Ride out that as they're winning, you put that going forward. As we see people turning into ITL and watching us through Dre's camera, I'm all about it though. Let's move on to a commercial break, and we're gonna come back with round 2 primetime pick'em. If you watch this show, you definitely know what's coming up. That's right. We're gonna take a look at those Stream Team streamers on both Twitch and Facebook Gaming, and we will see you right after this commercial break.
Jill going down the hill, gonna go fetch Jack in his little pill. Jack feeling down and that's pretty bad. Let's go.
Oh, yo, clip that headshot.
No.
A pistol. What the Okay, that didn't count.
Woo, let's go, baby, clutch it up. Yeah, I like it.
What? No way. Did that precision just kill me?
Let's go!
Nice, Papa!
Papa with the clutch kill at the end. Let's go.
Oh, I missed. That was bad.
Got him.
Nice.
Man, I'm going to go steal their shit.
That is definitely orange. Green.
You're dumb and it's orange.
We're both wrong, red.
I could get that solo if I tried it a couple times, but we'll come back to it.
I'm fucking dick right now. Holy shit. Like, I fucking suck right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
All right, thanks for the pause of station identification. Round 2 ITL NFL Pick'em, not Week 7. That headline never changes. I might just keep it that way the rest of the season. It is Week 11, 7-11. Here we go. Thursday night football. Packers 3-point favorites against those Tennessee Titans who have 3 more wins than them this year. Very weird predicament, but the Packers are at home. 3-point favorites. Thursday night football. Not a lot of points so far this season on Thursday night football. We'll start this one off with Dre Rogers. Dre, the Packer favorite here, eating his breakfast. Dre, are your Packers winning Thursday Night Football?
Oh, yeah.
Clicking on mute.
You're good. We can hear you.
Oh, what was the question? Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Are the Packers winning Thursday Night Football?
No.
So you're taking the Titans to win this one, Dre?
Yes, Derrick Henry is going to rush for like 200 yards.
All right, Tennessee Titans are the
And
first pick here.
Tannehill's back too, so.
And they're going to throw all over the Packers. So Dre says fade Packers. Kenny?
I'll take the Packers. I think they build the momentum off of last week.
Kenny goes Packers in a surprise move against Dre's Packers. He's taking the Packers. Luke?
I'm going to go with the Titans to win a tight one.
Uh-oh.
There it is. And we are now got Titans and Packers as picks. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans to win this game. I do not think that this is going to be as close as people may have it out. I don't think the Packers are back. I think that was just a revenge or just a regular dominating win for Aaron Rodgers over the Cowboys just to deflate the Cowboy season. I think the Tennessee Titans are a better team overall. Titans usually win games they're not supposed to, which Green Bay at home favored means that they're not supposed to. So taking Tennessee to win this game on the road, I think Dre's on the money. You play Derrick Henry everywhere, not like you weren't, but you play him everywhere because you can, I guess.
If you're not playing Derrick Henry, I want to see your roster.
Yeah, no shit. Let's move on. Saints Rams are the noon game. That's the noon game we're featuring. This was the best game of the noon game. These are some garbage noon games. You can take a look at the slate of scheduled games, but this was the best one in my opinion. Let's start this one off with Kenny. Kenny, who do you have in Saints versus Rams? Saints 4-point favorites.
First of all, give me Bears Falcons over this game.
No.
The way Justin Fields is playing? Oh, that's a good game. Mariota versus Fields. I would watch that. I keep betting the Saints and they keep draining my bank account. But I don't know how the Rams win this game if they have Wofford and no Cooper Kupp. So I will reluctantly back the Saints at home.
We've got our first Saints pick, and I'm guessing that's with the spread.
I mean, yeah. If I can't back the spread, then I shouldn't be taking them in the first place.
That's very true. That's very true. All right, we have a Saints pick. Luke, who you got?
Saints.
Saints. Going Saints with the spread, I'm guessing. I am going to take... I'm not going to give my pick yet. Dre, who you got in this game?
He's not listening. Go to Luke.
Luke, you have the Saints in this game, correct?
Yeah, I have the Saints. I don't know what happened, but yes, I have the Saints.
Welcome back. And Kenny, you chose the Saints. I am absolutely taking the Los Angeles Rams in this game. I think the Rams spread the ball around. I think they get their win when they're not supposed to. I'm taking the Rams to win this game in an upset pick for Vegas. Dre, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Saints. Rams suck, and without Cup, they'll suck even more. So, Saints.
Right you are, Dre, but I am taking the Rams myself. All right, that takes us to our game of the week. That is right, game of the week. Let's get those rowdy flags in the air. Vikings versus Cowboys. Cowboys 1-point favorites on the road against Minnesota. Let's start this one off with Kenny. Kenny, who do you have in this game?
Vikings are at home. So Dallas. That's all I got.
Kenny is taking Dallas just because.
Don't bet this game.
No, you should not bet this game. You should bring your family to the couches, have them watch phenomenal Sunday afternoon football. Because I'm absolutely taking Dallas -1 and betting on this game because I'm terrible and I can't get over how great the Cowboys are. As for Dre, who do you have in this game? This is kind of hard for you. You hate both teams.
Am I unmuted now?
You are.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, so I'm good. Yeah, the Vikings suck. They've just gotten lucky, and they're playing like against all these shitty teams. Cowboys are going to be pissed that they lost to us last week, and I think Zeke is back, isn't he? So I'll join you, Ernest. I'll take the Cowboys.
There we go. We've got 2 Vikings. I'm sorry, we have all 3 Dallas picks so far. That means we are on a BCMG guarantee alert. Let's go, Luke. Who you got in this game?
You're really going to make me do this? You're going to make me pick this one? Really?
I am.
With 3 to go? I mean, obviously, I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this.
Let's go. We have our first BCMG guarantee. That is correct. Ring those in the air. Let's go. That's right. BCMG guarantee brought to you by Blue Collar Media Group, where you can get all your guaranteed picks. Go see Steve Reisner for any guarantee picks you don't win on. All right. Cowboys -1 hits the guaranteed books, and that takes us to Sunday Night Football. And if you've been listening, you know it's Chargers versus Chiefs. Chargers at home with who knows in the receiver core, and Chiefs away with who knows in the receiver core. 6.5-point favorites on the road. We start this one off with Dre. Dre, who do you have in this game?
Kansas City. Yeah, I'm disappointed in the Chargers, so I'm gonna go with Kansas. -6.5 is too high for because it's in LA, right?
It is.
I guess I'll go Kansas, but plus 6.5.
All right, he's taking Kansas City to win money line. Chargers to cover. Luke.
This one's kind of a tough one, just because, I mean, they're going to have Hingle McCringleberry out there catching passes for like, they might as well call him up. They can get Cabrickashaw Ferguson out there, you know. I have to believe in the Chiefs, so I'm going to take the Chiefs. But 6.5 is kind of dicey for me, so I'll take the Chiefs, but they'll win by 3.
Awesome. We have Kansas City kind of running amok. Kenny, going over to you.
Chiefs. Probably to cover too. I don't know. The Chargers don't have a lot. Not that the Chiefs do either, but I'll take the Chiefs to win and cover reluctantly.
We have a reluctant Kenny putting Kansas City money line on a BCMG guarantee alert. I'm getting told things are heating up here. Let's hear it. That's right. You can sound the alarm. We have another BCMG guarantee. Kansas City money line is the pick for me. I'm taking Kansas City to win this. Put those fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. That is correct. We have a BCMG guarantee. And if you're paying attention, you have Dallas -1 on that guarantee. You have Kansas City money line on that guarantee. We are filling it up in prime time pick 'em as we go to the Monday Night Football game. That's right. Cardinals versus 49ers. 49ers 8-point favorites on the road. Cardinals will get Kyler Murray back for this game, scheduled right now to get Kyler Murray back for this game. And 49ers look to be clicking on all cylinders with newly acquired Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Looks like a brand new team, looks like a brand new offense. I'll start this one off. 49ers look great. I have no doubt they're going to win this game. By how much is really the tell. But Cardinals with Kyler are good offensively. I think a backdoor cover happens. I'm taking the Niners to win this. Taking Niners money line, Cardinals +8 if I had to bet it. But Niners money line is a starting pick for this. Going to Luke.
No, a healthy CMC. I mean, that offense was already close to teetering on dangerous just with Deebo Samuel. Now adding a healthy Christian McCaffrey, and I keep saying healthy because honestly, that's what it really comes down to is this team and health. Christian McCaffrey's health. Brandon Ayuk has turned it on the last few weeks, and that's a help by Jimmy Garoppolo. But Jimmy cannot turn the ball over. This team can absolutely not afford turnovers, and that's what's always plagued Jimmy. He's always had issues with turnovers, so that's kind of the main issue. 8 is kind of hard with Kyler, maybe without Kyler. 8's I think is pretty tough. in an in-divisional game, especially one that means quite a lot to both of these teams right now because they both need an in-division win, which I never thought I'd say at the beginning of the year was Seattle for one in that division, which is mind-blowing to me. But I digress. The 49ers need it more, so I'm going to go with the 49ers.
49ers have 2 picks now on the board. Kenny.
I'm going to take 49ers to win, Cardinals to cover. Kyler barely didn't go last week, so I'm assuming that he'll be fine by the time they play this game. So if he's playing, then him and D-Hop have a great connection. And I don't know if San Fran necessarily has the secondary to slow him down, so I think they'll be able to cover, but I would have to lean 49ers to win outright.
All right, looks like the meter is heating up. Dre Rogers, we have a BCMG guarantee alert. Who are you taking in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I do like that CMC Elijah combo. I think they're gonna run over everyone. But yeah, Cardinals at home, Monday Night Football, or Tuesday night for me, Tuesday morning for me. I'm going to go against everyone. I think it's going to be a DeAndre Hopkins game. He had 12 receptions last week. I'm going to go with like 15, 152 touchdowns, and the Cardinals win this game.
Dre plays spoiler on Monday Night Football, and the Cardinals get the pick from Dre. 3-1 pick for the Niners, but it's not enough to get on our BCMG guarantee. So if you're playing that, don't worry, guys. We have a lot more picks coming right after we introduce round 3 fire round and this short break. That's right. Round 3 fire round pick'em. You heard the music. We are here. We're going to start off in Atlanta. Atlanta 3-point favorites against the Bears. Let's go around the room. Kenny, who you have in this game?
Give me the Bears. Fields kind of blew it last week, but I think they found something with him in that offense, and I think Atlanta's kind of going to slump back to where we figured they would be preseason. So I'll give me the Bears.
I have the Bears as well. Luke?
Bears.
All right, Dre, you got a BCMG guarantee alert. Who you have in this game?
Here comes Atlanta.
You know I'm never taking the Bears. Patterson's back, and Falcons only need to give him the ball to win games. So 20 touches, 2 touchdowns, Falcons win.
Dre plays spoiler again, 3-1 favorite for the Bears on this game, but we are going to no BCMG guarantee, stays at a 2-team pick 'em. We are going Texans. We're going to Houston Texans versus Commanders. Commanders 3.5-point favorites on the road. I'll ask a general question. Going to look at the screen. Anybody taking Texans? All right, that means it's a BCMG guarantee. Put those fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Commanders money line, but let me ask the group, are we taking the 3.5?
You didn't take the Texans, Ernest?
I did not take the Texans, no.
They just picked up somebody off of waivers.
Eno Benjamin. Eno Benjamin is now a Texan. It's not enough to move the needle for me. We have Damian Pierce. But Washington money line, put that on your guarantee sheets. That is correct. If you're keeping track of it, Washington money line has now entered the BCMG guarantee, and I appreciate everybody following along at home. All right, Bills -8 versus the Browns in a game where Josh Allen is playing and everybody in Buffalo. Anybody taking the Browns? It's not even up for discussion. That's right. It's a BCMG guarantee. Wave those fingers in the air like you just don't care. If you're listening on your phones, you're going to look crazy in the car, but that's okay. Let's ring it. Now, we said it's a guarantee Buffalo money line. However, are we taking any point spread on here?
No.
No. So we are not confident in this game. I like that. I'm okay with going to the next game. Colts versus Eagles in a game where the Eagles are trying to play comeback. 6.5-point favorites on the road against Sam Ehlinger and that newly acquired offense. Kenny doesn't like that.
Who?
Sam Ehlinger?
You mean he didn't get the win on Sunday?
He didn't play Sunday?
No, it was Matt Ryan.
Oh my gosh. He came back?
Well, yeah, because Jeff Saturday, the best coach in the NFL, he's the only undefeated coach in NFL history right now.
Oh my gosh. Get off the screen. Here, I miss my cue. God bless America.
A fraud. A big fraud.
That's right, Ken.
I'm next, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday's 1-0. Matt Ryan's back. He's got that offense going. Did you see Paris Campbell finally had a game?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Kenny, I'm taking the Eagles. Don't worry about it.
Dre's taking the Eagles in our first pick for the pick'em. Kenny, who you got?
Colts will cover that, but the Eagles will win. Colts are playing inspired football, man. They got a great head coach.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Can't be any worse than what Frank Reich was doing.
That's definitely true. Luke.
You guys gotta see what type of coffee they just brought us. Look at this.
Can we also, though, can we also appreciate the fact, all right, that is coffee, yep.
Wait, I missed it.
Can we appreciate the fact that Josh McDaniels still has the backing of Davis? Like,
yeah,
that was
that's
a report where
crazy.
they're like, yeah, no, like, we love what Josh is doing. It's like, how do you go from playoff team to 2 wins entering week 11 and you say, yeah, this is good?
Well, the quote was he's doing a phenomenal job. And it's
But
like,
how?
How? What is he doing that's phenomenal?
Maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah, that's got to be. I'm taking the Eagles to win this game and cover. I think the Eagles just blow them out. It's going to be like 35-3. I don't think it's going to be close. Luke, I got your pick. It was Eagles, correct?
I mean, Eagles, I think they beat the brakes off of them, honestly.
Well, you're not a Jeff Saturday believer, and I don't stand for that.
Well, I couldn't stand watching ESPN all fucking week while they blew him.
Well, to be fair, they buried him alive last week. So the amount of backtracking on this has been phenomenal to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Philadelphia's wave those fingers in the air like you just don't care. That is another BCMG guarantee. That is correct. That takes us to Steve Reisner's The Generals, New England Patriots, 3-point favorites against the New York Jets, both coming off bye weeks. Guys, I like this matchup. I love the rivalry. New England at home is the pick for me. I think Ramondre Stevenson absolutely plays wonderful and does things for your fantasy team you never could imagine. Luke?
I mean, I've been dogging Steve pretty much all year with the Patriots, even though we took an L to them. So I'll take the Patriots this week.
2 Patriot picks, and this takes me over to Dre.
I'm taking the Jets. Their defense is for real.
The New York Jets gets its first pick in this pick. I go to Kenny.
Book it.
Book it.
Do we have to go through this song and dance if I'm picking?
Kenny's taking the New York Jets, and this one we're split 2-2. Don't add them to your BCMG guarantee pick 'em. If you are watching or listening, put those pens down. It's not going to work. Not for this game. That takes us over to New York, where the Giants are 3-point favorites against the Lions, who got that win against Chicago last week.
Is anyone taking the Lions?
Anybody picking Lions in this game?
They'll come back or the Giants will come back and win. But yeah.
Wait, we can just wave those fingers in the air like you just don't care. Make it a quick version. That's Cliff Notes right there. The Giants are winning this game. Let's move on. Ravens minus 12.
Everyone's backing the
versus
Ravens.
Panthers.
Let's not do this again. Okay?
Let's do another Cliff Notes version. Wave those fingers in the air just like you just don't care. And we move on.
They're not covering 12.
No,
they won't
absolutely not. No, Ratbirds don't do that. All right, the Broncos, and apparently they're 3-6 versus the Raiders. Broncos versus Raiders, and whatever that means on my.
The first time I read it, I thought that you were saying that they were minus 3.6. I was like, nope, that's not how odds work.
Nope, that's definitely not it. We'll try to get odds here on the screen in just a moment. Broncos Raiders. I think this is going to be split, so let's start this one off. Luke, who you have?
Not the audience. Fuck. Give me crybaby Derek Carr this week.
He's going Raiders upset pick this week. Kenny.
No, I'll go Denver in their house. I hope that the Raiders fire McDaniel so bad. He's such a bad coach.
Dre, who you have in this game?
Who's at home?
The Broncos. Yep.
Dead.
Okay, moving on.
Just so everybody knows, this is absolutely. It is the snoozer of the week. That's right. You'll be sleeping in this game. Everybody won't be caring. And we'll move on. Broncos win this game for me. Let's move on to the final game of the week. That's right. Luke's Steelers against the Bengals. Bengals 5-point favorites on the road. Luke, talk to us about this game.
I mean, TJ Watt's back. He obviously, it took a lot of attention away from Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith had a season high two sacks last week. So it was a really good week for Alex Highsmith. It was actually a really good week for the defense. So it was a very good bright spot to see. Kenny didn't look great, but he didn't cost us the game. So I think that was a pretty good step in the road. Najee got back into Najee Harris ways, downhill runs, very hard, very physical. So there's a lot of good things that happened last week. With that being said, I am obviously going to take the Steelers this week because I will never pick the Bengals. It's tough. I don't want the Steelers to win football games, and everybody's like, "What? You don't want to win football games?" Guys, honestly, no, I really do not want to win football games. But I don't want to be mediocre. I'd rather suck. Like I've been on the record. I would rather suck for 5 years and be good for 20 than fucking be mediocre. And I'm not a mediocre guy. So I think they win this in division game. It's with no Jamar. I mean, that really hurts the Bengals. Like it really puts a damper on them. And honestly, that offensive line is still not good for them. And Joe Mixon had a Joe Mixon game, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
a week
ago. With TJ being back, I think we can bottle him up better. I mean, look at Kamara. He only had 25 some yards. He didn't have any catches last week. So I think it was an all-around better show for the Steelers. So I'm going to take the Steelers this week.
There you go. Steelers are the first pick. Kenny.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. I'm actually kind of shocked that I just said that, but yeah, give me Pittsburgh.
I said that they had a likely chance of winning this week, and I love you, Luke, but I am going Cincinnati for this win. I do like them off the bye. I do like them and their chances. The defense in division game is probably going to be just as stout. I like the offense still better in Cincinnati than I do in Pittsburgh, so I'm going to lean Cincy in this one, but it is going to be close, so no, I'm not taking the points. I'm saying this is a game-winning field goal. It's probably going to look very good for Pittsburgh for a while, and then Cincy comes back and takes the lead, and then it's going to be that division game that you always know to have there in the division. So with that being said, our BCMG guarantee has come to a close, and if you've been following along, we have a lot of money lines and a Dallas -1. I don't know if Kenny's ready to give us the odds on that. That's okay.
I'll be honest, it was difficult to hear over the rave happening in Bali what the actual plays were, so it was a real tough one for me.
Yeah, they're celebrating there in Bali, the return of Dre to the resort, so we're excited that Dre's having a good time. Hope you have a good time for your birthday, buddy. But we're going to punch out. Here's the BCMG guarantee. Dallas -1, Chiefs money line, Commanders money line, Bills money line, Eagles money line, Giants money line, and Ravens money line.
Sounds like a lot of -400. So
yeah,
let's
definitely like plus 850 there. But we're happy that you guys follow along
for plus 800.
Woo! We're really excited to be back, guys. Not the best week of picks that we had to choose from to come back to, but you know what they say: you can't pick your NFL schedule; it gets picked for you. But we'll do our sign-offs. Luke, tell the people where they can find you.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter at Hearts on Hockey or at King of Hearts. Good Lord. Good Lord, that's where my brain is. I'm fried out right now. But it's sports depression season in Pittsburgh. It's a real thing. Make sure you talk to your friends because the Penguins just lost 5-2 to the fucking Maple Leafs. So I'm gonna go crawl in a hole and drink a 30 rack and wallow in self-pity until next Tuesday. So
we're glad you're doing really well, Luke. We hope to have you on next week. We go to Kenny.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at ShootersPod. Oh, no, wait, it's at HedgePod.
Cancel that pod. Cancel.
Sorry, that pod got canceled. Monday through Friday, it's now 7 a.m. Eastern time because y'all changed your clocks and we didn't for some. So that's the part of Siberia that I live in up north here. This was a fun episode. It was one that I don't feel like a lot got accomplished, if I'm being honest, but we're here.
It was definitely the week after you come back from a break where everything just doesn't go right. You just got to laugh about it and trudge along and say, next week, Turkey Week, we're going to be much better. Well, I'm your host, Ernest Silva, at the Sport. Nope. At Into the Lab Pod is where you can find this show as well as all the other shows. At the Sport Gene is where you might follow me. But we're excited to have you guys back. Thank you guys for the listens. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to everybody. Go Harlingen High School football in San Antonio this week, taking on Warren. We'll be there Friday for the game. We'll send out pictures and vids of the game. Hopefully we come back with the dub. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Good luck to those in Vegas. I know there's a few of you listeners in Vegas asking for picks this week. We'll give you those side picks as well. Become a Lapster today. Night, everybody.